This is our abandoned homestead in Michigan. The problem is, we currently live and work in Germany, so getting home with all 5 kids can be somewhat of a challenge. But it's a challenge worth overcoming to see the great Upper Peninsula of Michigan again. You ready to go to Michigan, Juniper?
Go.
Over here. Come on. You ready, Tech?
Underworld.
Yeah. Me too. It's still night. But by the end of the day, we're going to be at the lodge. You guys ready? Go buckle up. All right, everybody, grab your backpacks.
I need to put mine on my back.
Uh-huh. You guys are being really good for how early it is. Hey. Say hi. Say hi, Liam.
Hi.
Say hi.
What?
Sky. Hi. All right. I highly recommend the skip the counter Alamo service. Hi Liam, how was your trip?
Great.
Say, I love Michigan.
I love Michigan.
Zach.
Love Michigan.
Oh hey, you said it. You're a good sport. Say, I love Michigan.
I love Michigan.
Yeah, we done what, several thousand miles, and now we've got a couple hundred to go and a rental. That should be a fun time. We ended up landing in Detroit, and it's a 4.5 to 5 hour trip up to the Mackinac Bridge. The kids were completely zonked out by this time because they've been traveling for almost 24 hours, and we still had another hour to go. Now, psychologically, for me anyways, the Mackinac Bridge is where the trip ends. Anything north of this, and I'm flying high. I'm already home. Maybe it's because the $4 bridge toll is collected on the northern side, so you're forced to roll down your windows and enjoy that fresh, crisp Michigan air. But there is this refreshing feeling that happens as soon as you get across and you're getting into the deep wilderness of the north. Before my mom passed, she used to have this, what I used to think is a stupid little rhyme that she would say every time she met the toll person on the other side of the bridge, which is, as a random act of kindness, I'd like to pay for the people behind us. When I was young, it used to irk me that kindness and us probably shouldn't rhyme, and you have to say it with a pretty thick accent in order to make it sound good. But I find myself using the exact same rhyme, even to this day, in her honor. The trick is to drive away nice and fast after you pay for the person behind you so they don't catch up, and you don't have to deal with making eye contact with a stranger, honestly. It's absolutely beautiful up here. This is where Lake Michigan and Lake Huron meet under this bridge, and one side always seems to be a little choppier than the other. Now at this point the sun is already set, and we're driving up on our road here. This little curve is where it switches from deep woods to deep, deep woods, and you can see it happen for yourself. If you watch that deep blue sky right above the tree line there, you can see that we have sundown but not quite the end of civil twilight. But as soon as you turn under these trees, they reach over and blot that out, and it gives you this dark sense of deep night, even though there's daylight everywhere else. Oftentimes I will think it's pitch black out, and I'll roll outside, drive up to the local convenience store about 4.5 miles away, and see that there's still actually plenty of light once you get off our road. And here we are pulling up to the homestead for the first time in 2 years as a family. And yes, I do call it the abandoned homestead, even though we are the ones who abandoned it. We bought this place 6 years ago, but because work has taken us away from the UP, it sits here empty 11 months out of the year. I save up all my time off for these July trips, but even though we get hundreds of things done, it is impossible to keep up with the ever-mounting list of tasks that come with the homestead. All right, so we just pulled up to the abandoned homestead. We went in and got some lights on. I usually leave these little outdoor lights on year-round to deter intruders, and I can tell there's not been any humans around, nothing's missing, but we definitely have some intruders. You see it right off the bat. There's a raccoon in here. Not the hat, that's one of mine. There's a raccoon out here who's had 5 pounds of protein over the last 2 years that we've been gone. He left most of it on the floor, so he's probably not that jacked. You see that footprint right there, it's pretty clear. We have raccoon intruders who don't have allergies because there's Claritin. They left me some trash bags, which I'll be using immediately to pick all this up. And they absolutely destroyed the pantry. We let this go for 2 years once. No problems. All these shelves stayed nice and clean. And then the last 2 years, apparently, things have changed. So, got a lot of junk to clean up. Didn't touch the spice rack. Good to go. And this is this nice little kitchen. We remodeled it a few years ago. Twin refrigerators, new cabinets, dishwasher, farm sink. These are the big filters that we put into the system. I'll be installing those now. Got them in here. We also have some ceiling damage in here where I think he came in at. Blew through here and then did lines of my protein. So I'll be rolling a sediment and a charcoal filter here shortly. But I've got to get all this cleaned up. We've been traveling for 24 hours now. And I've got to get all this cleaned up before I bring the kids in from the rental car. So looks like even less sleep than I was anticipating. So that's all right. That's why we're here. We're here to fix it up and make sure the abandoned homestead isn't as abandoned as it currently is. Now I figured this would be a pretty anticlimactic video if I didn't let you see the place during the daylight. So a couple days later I took some of this drone footage. I'm using a DJI Mini 2 that we got used on Facebook Marketplace, and it works wonderfully. Now, we don't have internet or any kind of modern capability out at the homestead, so I'm back in Germany now doing the editing of these videos. I took over 100 videos, and I'm working through what I need to show in what order for this story to make sense. But if you look here at the drone footage, you'll see that there's several outbuildings, and you're only seeing a couple. There's over 24 outbuildings, and I have footage inside of each one of them. If you're interested in a full homestead tour where I go and open up each building and take a look around, I can post that video next. Just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll be doing a video on a bathroom renovation, the installation of a Bison hand pump, and a few other renovations that we did while we're up there. The only thing I ask is you give us a little forgiveness when you see that everything's not done very efficiently or very quickly, because we don't live there yet. We're just renovating it on our vacation time. Here's an excellent view of why I love it so much up there. Aside from some hunting cabins and some trails cut into the woods, there's nothing that shows civilization for miles. There's nothing but cedar swamps and maple groves as far as the eye can see. But we're not completely away from civilization. If you look at that lake about 5 miles away, there are houses around the edge of that. There is a campground, and there is a small general store within 2 miles of that lake. So while we're not completely isolated, it certainly does feel like it at times. And I love that feeling. Thank you for watching this video, and take care.